My guest today is a former Italian national police officer. He led Interpol's Counter-Terrorism Fusion Task Force for Asia Pacific. He's directed operations across the Middle East and Latin America. He has trained law enforcement through Interpol, the UNODC, and the IOM. He lectures in Singapore on intelligence and terrorism studies, and just last month he delivered training at Interpol's state-of-the-art Global Center for Innovation in Singapore on AI and criminal activities. He is the managing director of the Protective Intelligence Network and is currently writing a book, a spy novel involving a shady mass surveillance actor, where his character plays the role of an Interpol officer working together with an NYPD officer, and they are running a complicated investigation together. He joins me on a very wet and overcast day here in the center of Lyon. Angelo Bani, welcome.
Thank you very much. Too many things, no? You said.
There's a lot going on there. There is a lot going on.
Well, because I'm very old, probably. This is the only certainty we have.
Clearly a lot of energy. How does it feel to be back in Lyon?
I love Lyon. I love France. I'm from the northern part of Italy, so since when I was 18, 17, 18, 19, I was traveling to France, and of course Lyon, Rhône-Alpes is one of the regions that is closer to us. I'm from Lombardia, so in 3, 4, 5 hours I'm here, in 7 hours I'm in Paris. And I really enjoy Lyon. Beside this, Lyon is a ville gourmande. And thanks God, this table is high enough to avoid my belly to the public. No, but of course I really loved coming here, all these vibes on Bocuse, on Monsieur Paul, Les Halles, and Saint-Marcellin.
Yeah.
So I really love my time here in Lyon, and I love to come back sometimes.
Yeah. So why is it that you're back this time?
But I came back because I took part to a conference, global conference of vehicle crimes. I'm not an expert in vehicle crimes, but I deliver a presentation on the use of artificial intelligence by criminals and by law enforcement, the bad boys and the good boys. And it was here during the last 3 days. I enjoyed coming back to Interpol.
Yeah.
I was in Interpol for 8 years, 4 years here in Lyon, 4 years in Bangkok. So coming here was really great.
Yeah.
Like Radio Nostalgie in France.
Yeah, it's a nice
a nostalgic moment. But I really enjoyed these last 3 days.
Yeah, good. And for those that don't know, in terms of you were stationed out in Bangkok with Interpol, was that?
Yes, after 4 years in Lyon, I was manager counter-terrorism in what in that moment was called Public Safety and Terrorism, Subdirectorate, and I was managing a project that was especially on South Asia, terrorist groups, Southeast Asian countries, and Pacific Islands countries, hence New Zealand, Australia. And the problem was was a logistic problem. I mean, all the times that I have to talk with the Australian Federal Police, or I have to talk with New Zealand, I have to go to the office at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4:30 in the morning. So was not the case. So together with that, in that moment, Secretary General, with my was Noble, Ronald Noble. And with my Director General of Criminal Police in Rome, we decided to move my position to Bangkok. In that moment, Interpol had an office in Bangkok, was called Lobang, Liaison Office Bangkok. And I was there for 4 years and a half, and was certainly easier to manage the project. You know, when you're talking about counterterrorism, and when you try to explain what Interpol does and what Interpol would like from the countries, you really have to create trust, and trust with phone calls and even now with video calls is not the same than, sitting down, sharing a tea or a coffee or eat something with a person that you want to engage. It was certainly more successful like this.
So you were a seconded officer, was that?
I was seconded by the Italian National Police.
Okay.
Yes, I was a CDI, DCI, Detective Chief Inspector.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Using a terminology usually used in UK. I mean, in Italiano it's Ispettore Capo, Ispettore Superiore.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Italians, a lot of Italian civil servants and also officers at Interpol. It's
Yeah.
a great
Yeah,
crowd
yeah.
to work with.
You know, we are quite well. You know, one of the things that really pleased me is that in Italy we grew up with, and I don't want to say politically incorrect, but we grew up with United States, U.S. TV series, Beretta, Starsky and Hutch,
Right.
Columbo. And we build up inside us that feeling that perhaps we are not good and someone else is better, right? But when I came to Interpol, I really understand that we are actually quite good, especially in investigation, especially when we investigate organized crime, but also when we investigate terrorism. We have three major police forces in Italy, the National Police, that was where I come from, Polizia di Stato. Then we have the Carabinieri, that is a sort of military police, but they have also judiciary police functions. And then we have the financial police, Guardia di Finanza. And we're working well, much better than before.
Yeah.
So there's more and more multi-agency cooperations. So that is great. That is a big success.
It's a lot of fun working with the Italians. There's a lot of characters there.
Well, I mean, probably not for the people that we arrest, but yeah, certainly it is. And you know that with the French, we have this sort of love-hate.
Love-hate
relationship. Right? Yeah, relationship. I also want to say the truth. I mean, a lot of Italians believe that in France you don't eat very well. But
you don't eat very well.
Yeah, but you actually eat very well. You know, we have different concepts. We are more simplistic in our way to cook. They are more elaborated. You know, if you see, for example, the Café de Paris beurre, that is a butter that has, I don't know if 20 or 24 ingredients. You will never find something like this in Italian cuisine. But nevertheless, I mean, in both countries, we have fantastic place to visit, fantastic food. And the people, I would say, especially for me that I'm coming from the northern part of Italy, I find not many differences, actually, between Lombardia, Piemonte, and Rhône-Alpes, for example, Savoie.
Well, actually, let's continue on that. So you're with the Italian National Police.
Yep.
And then at some point, a decision is made that you're going to be seconded to Interpol.
Yeah.
What did that mean for you as a young?
Well, I mean, no, I was not so young, unfortunately. But, well, I mean, my story is quite, not unique, but it's quite peculiar. I was in what in French they call Brigade Criminelle. In Italian is Squadra Mobile. So it's practically a criminal investigation department.
Okay.
And I was doing narcotics, I was doing homicide, I was doing robberies and all these kind of things. And at a certain moment I was very tired. And so I decided to take a break, a real break. So I left the Italian police, I went to Spain, and I opened a wine bar.
Really?
Yes, Toscana wine bar. And it was very successful, but was on the coast, and therefore I was the Mambo King during summer, and I was crying during winter because nobody was there. And so after 4 years, I kindly requested the Department of Public Security to take me back. They were happy to do so. And so they sent me to Rome. I believe that was probably really important in order to have the possibility to go to Interpol. You know, right. Interpol is especially managed at the central level. And if you're coming from a province of Italy, well, you're not so visible, I would say. Yeah. So when I was in Rome, I was the deputy head of personnel at the Central Immigration Office. So we're talking about 300 people, 300 police officers, and around 60, 70 civilians, translators, and people that is helping foreigners to understand better the Italian laws, and I request to go to Interpol. Okay. I did the interview here in Lyon. And
do you remember what you thought at the time?
Well, I mean, I was very excited, and Yeah, I was very excited. I mean, you know, all the organization, when you see the organization from outside, you build up some sort of you build up some sort of dreams, right, or some sort of you idealize.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that was not like this, but certainly is very different in the moment that you arrive. In that moment, also today. But in that moment, my English was really not incredible. I could communicate and talk with people, but well, this probably was the biggest struggle. My French was okay, and my Spanish was very good because I was coming from 4 years in Spain. So, I mean, when I did the interview with the different people and they were talking to me in different languages, I did well. And finally, I came here, 2006. 2006.
And then you said here for 4 years.
For 4 years, and in 2010, I was transferred to Bangkok. Actually, before Bangkok, they transferred me for a very little time for a mission in Baghdad, in Iraq. It was a mission that was related to a possible threat to the World Cup in South Africa. So we went there to do some investigation. We supported the Iraqi police that they were detaining people linked to a possible terrorist plot. And after that operation, I went straight to Bangkok.
Okay, and then from there, you pretty much stayed out in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
And now...
And now I'm there. I'm in Singapore. I moved from Bangkok to Singapore. I did a master at one of the national university in Singapore, NTU, in strategic studies. And then after that, I decided, well, actually during the studies, I decided to open what people may call a private intelligence company. So we run background checks, due diligences. We enter strongly in what is called social media intelligence exploitation. So we try to sort out information that may represent a concern under a reputational or security consideration. And so we run those things, and sometimes very interesting because you're able to sort out. We actually work, if you are interested in this, we actually work in understand intent, capability, and opportunities of the bad actor. So intent usually is very easy to understand. I want to kill you. Capability is also somehow easy because perhaps you may observe from social media that the person was a former military, or you understand that he was already arrested for some violent crimes. What sometimes we struggle to find is opportunity, but nevertheless this represents in any case an intelligence information, because if I understand where this person is, then this is representing an important information under a security and intelligence consideration.
And how was it going from Lyon? So headquarters of the world's international police is in Lyon. It's in Europe.
Yep.
You had experience in a regional arm of the organization.
Yep.
What was it like transitioning from HQ to...
Well, I believe that the problem was not moving from the HQ to a branch office like the liaison officer in Bangkok. The big difference was moving from Europe and the Western world to Bangkok, to Asia, right? I mean, it's completely different. I was based, my office, Lobang, was inside the Royal Thai Police headquarters. And therefore, I mean, you're really suddenly in a completely different situation.
Yeah.
I mean, in a different world. I remember in the beginning, I even didn't know a lot about Thai food.
Yeah.
If we go back to one of the topic of my life, and when I arrived there, I was eating in the police canteen, but the police canteen serve police officer from Thailand, so it's real food, not adjusted to Western taste.
Sensibility.
And it was so incredibly spicy.
But Thai food is incredible.
Fantastic.
It's incredible.
Fantastic. It's
fantastic. I was born in Thailand and
really?
spent time living there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. In Bangkok?
In Bangkok, yeah. A lovely part of the world.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
And amazing food.
Yeah,
amazing people, amazing food, amazing country.
Yeah.
So not a bad posting as far as regional bodies are concerned.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. And then professionally, it was also very interesting because then, first of all, before I was doing missions that were very long because Indonesia was very far from Australia or New Zealand, and suddenly everything became very, 1 hour, 2 hours. So it was much easier to organize meetings and talk to people and build up trust.
That's it.
Yeah.
So from there, you were able to then bridge a gap. You left the organization in what year?
I left in 2014.
2014?
Yeah.
So right at the end of Secretary General Noble's mandate.
Yeah.
So you both left together.
Yes, absolutely. It was a character, right? A little bit like me. We are character, no?
Absolutely.
We have some peculiarities that make people remember us somehow. And he was very good in selling Interpol somehow. And I remember very, very good moments during his kingdom.
During the Noble years.
Right.
Yeah.
You were there also.
I was there. It was a lot of fun.
And we never met each other because I was leaving in 2010 and I was in Bangkok. You arrived in
2012.
So we stayed 2 years together, but far away,
different offices.
Yeah.
So what was it like leaving the organization and leaving the police?
Yeah. It's not easy because especially when you do so and you're not 25 or 30.
How old?
35. Well, I believe I left and I was already 50.
Okay.
Or something like this. So when you leave at that age, you start thinking about retirement. Is this the right decision? What is happening if I break one leg or one hand and I cannot type and I cannot travel and I cannot. So you have a lot of headaches, if you want, and then of course you feel bad because when you stay for so long in an organization, that organization is a big part of your life.
Of your life.
It's your family, and is a place where is your comfort zone. So going out of your comfort zone like this sometimes is. You have to adjust a little bit, correct?
Yeah, and it takes time.
But no, it's okay.
Good. So, what gave you the idea to start your own company? What was the reason for that?
Probably the idea was that while in the police, I would have stopped my activity in 10 years' time. Having a company, you can follow up until 120, right? And so, no, I'm joking, but the idea is just to follow up, being active and meeting people and organize things and feeling yourself useful for someone. Because at the end of the day, people sometimes minimize what policemen do, but nevertheless, I still know and recognize today people in law enforcement that really do this because they want to do good. They want to do something for the community, for the society.
They want to make the world a safer place.
Yeah, indeed, as Interpol.
The mission. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Your company now really straddles the sort of the latest in security threats. You've just run a simulation in Singapore, I understand, with AI.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? And also the latest threats that the public should be aware of, that you're working on, that you're working with governments on?
Well, I believe that let's take it from far. The world had several revolutions, let's call it like this. One was the books. I'm talking about revolution when you share information, when you share knowledge, right? The first one was books, Gutenberg.
So the printing press.
The printing press.
Yeah.
And then you follow up and you arrive to, the telegraph and then the telephone and then smart telephones, televisions. And televisions was entering the house of people with a lot of information. And then suddenly, internet came. And internet was another revolution. And in this moment, we are living another revolution, that is artificial intelligence. When I was doing presentation on the use of internet by criminals and police, I was always explaining that internet is power. And what really internet does very well is augmenting tenfold the speed of information. So something that is happening today here outside in Lyon, may affect the other part of the world in 30 seconds, in 1 minute, in 2 minutes. And this is sometimes one of the things that my colleagues don't consider. We are still in a moment where we are used to look out of the window, we see our little garden. If our little garden is okay, then it's okay. Everything
the world
is
is
okay.
fine, yeah.
But actually, it's not like this, because now there's not a little garden, there's a global garden, right? So we should be aware. So this was internet, and now internet plus artificial intelligence is becoming really... It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible for what AI can do and how AI can be used, exploited by criminals. And as usual, we are lagging. As usual...
When you say we're talking about...
law enforcement.
Law enforcement community.
We just start now to use some capabilities that AI offer. You also have to understand something important that I also explain to my fellow colleagues. AI and countering bad AI need technology. Technology has a high price. So while probably capital cities, Rome, Paris, Madrid, so the central law enforcement offices may have this kind of capability in terms of money to buy technology that support their investigation on AI. Provinces usually, they don't have the same amount of finances in order to buy 1, 10, 100 licenses. Those platforms that support now countering AI are super expensive. 30, 40, 50, 60,000, one license, 1 year. So more and more I see that what we have to think is to a public-private conversation, public-private relationship, partnership that may support the police and law enforcement in doing some jobs using the right technology. So yeah, this is what I see.
And how are countries reacting? Do you see some progressing much faster than the others? How is Singapore? The company is now based in Singapore, I understand.
Yeah. Well, Singapore is of course very advanced, and they are very. They pay a lot of attention on those new technologies. But don't forget, Singapore is a rich country. Singapore is a small country. And these, of course, play a role that in this case pay well for them. We cannot say the same for Italy, France, or India, or especially imagine federal countries, right? Where the vastity and of the land, of problems, of situations, of border checks, it's so immense that it takes some time. But look, I just presented here the use of AI in this vehicle crime conference, and I show live how to create a spoof call. Spoof call is one of those calls where you can call someone using not your telephone number, but the telephone number that you want this person to see. So imagine I simulate that I'm your boss. I call you or send to you a message.
Yeah, this all falls underneath scams, right? I mean, this is how this is known
indeed.
law enforcement for the general.
AI scams.
AI scams.
And so you see on your telephone the number of your boss. I did this live here, but beside these spoof calls, I also had a voice cloning activity. So if I someone online, I clone his voice, and then I create a message for his secretary saying, look, I'm taking an airplane now. but I talked with the mechanic of the Ferrari dealer, and he will send a mechanic to pick up the car because I can hear a noise that is not so good. So please give him the keys, and then we will talk after. Now I cannot talk because I'm checking an airplane. And the people was really, I mean, it's a funny example, right? But the fact that the people really see these under their eyes and see that the overall operation costed to me $6 US, they really understand the dangers,
The threats. Yeah.
the threats, right? And I believe the more people should do these kind of things, not only with law enforcement, also with the normal public,
with the
right?
public,
With the public,
absolutely.
yeah.
No, it's a
Because when you
conversation.
really see these, you understand the danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, sorry, was this you could see the person, or was it just audio? Because now you can
I
can even receive a FaceTime
Yeah,
call,
correct.
and it's
Correct. Yeah.
totally
You
not.
can do a deepfake, and deepfake can be an image, an audio, or a video. Yeah.
So how is law enforcement responding to this? I mean, this must be
Well,
rife.
first of all, one of the problems of law enforcement since ages is compartmentalization.
Yeah,
With
compartmentalization. Yeah.
it's quite a long word, huh? Compartmentalization. So does mean that no, I'm doing counter-terrorism, so I don't do this kind of things.
Right.
No, I'm doing I don't know, pedophiles, or I'm doing human trafficking, or I'm doing robberies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is the section over there that do this kind of things. This is the technical support that is doing this kind of things, and this is not helping. Because I believe that a general basic knowledge on this kind of capabilities in the hands of bad guys should be known by everyone that is a law enforcer. But in general, I mean, once again, I mean, the Marines has a very nice way to describe this situation, proactivity, reactivity. They use the word left of the bang. So the bang is where the event happened.
Okay.
And you should always put yourself left of the bang in a timeline, right? But a lot of time police is positioning himself on the right. So when something happened, there's a reaction, right? But the real game changer is prevention, of course. And especially when you're talking about these crimes that are, crimes using technology, it takes some time to put it out. So we should understand more and more of who is behind certain things. We also see something very important that may change. I don't know if you know the principle of counterinsurgency. Counterinsurgency principle are gaining the heart and the mind of people, right? In the moment that you gain heart and minds, then it's easier to counter an insurgency in a population because they come from your side of the story. They
Or
like
you think they come from your side of the story, because that's
that's
where ground starts.
Yeah,
to get
but
very
for
much.
this example, let's say that
Okay.
they are coming from.
It's clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, we should do something like this, right? We should understand who is trying to gain heart and minds of people. We have something that is called online influence operations. Those online influence operations, they are operations that sometimes they are very dangerous because we may, we may destroy an election. We may destroy a country because we push in the mind of people that A is good and B is bad, or vice versa. And people doesn't double check usually, right? They see something and they read it and they start believing, and then they searching something about it. You have this kind of echo chamber situation where you keep receiving something that is confirming your bias. Your bias, and this is dangerous. Of course, this is dangerous. all the people with mustache are terrible.
Yeah,
For
right,
example,
right, yeah,
all the people with glasses
yeah,
you cannot trust them.
yeah,
So and then the problems start. And sometimes we see behind this situation real geopolitical influence operations. So we are not talking about criminals in this case. We are talking about state actors. We saw also criminal, for example, narco-traffic in Mexico and the cartels. They use, for example, YouTube videos. And it's interesting to see those YouTube videos because they show that they are very friends of their friends, and they're very bad with people that is not from their side of the story, that is narco-traffic. So you see video where they beat people, where they, do bad things to them, and they are published on YouTube. And at the same time, instead, you see that they are embracing, shaking hands, and giving gifts to people that is supporting their activity. And so, once again, influence operations.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the involvement of social media
And involvement of social media, yes.
yeah,
And the speed of information, therefore.
right. And so the Protective Intelligence Network,
Yeah.
I'm correct in saying that is not geographically specific. Like you're operating globally.
Yeah.
You're assessing the threats in different
Yeah.
geographical regions.
Yes.
Are there geographical regions that are more vulnerable than others?
Well, I believe that, of course, all those geography where, for example, internet literacy is very low, then perhaps they are more prone to trust and to trust whoever say things, right? All those countries that live in a sort of constant propaganda because they have they want to say dictatorship, but something like this, well, of course, they are more prone to believe what is coming from the, the principal government office, right? Yeah.
And there's a lot on the other side, pushing for controls and, to keep people safe. And it's a fine balance between that and obviously having a freedom of speech and a free internet that can be used. What's your position in terms of this balance?
Is a dilemma.
It's a dilemma, yeah.
It's a dilemma because I can tell you that it may be very easy. You want an email, you want Meta, a Facebook profile, you want a Twitter profile. Well, you give me a document. So I identify you, and I know that if you write some BS, if you write something that is not okay, I know where you are, I know who you are, and I can better understand why you're doing certain things, by the way, But at the same time, what's about those countries where people use those kind of fake profiles in order to tell us a story, in order to tell us about crimes, about the way they are treated, about the human rights. So this is the dilemma, right? It's very easy to say, well, I would like me to implement an identification of all the users. So if someone is going out with Angelo Bani, must be Angelo Bani, and must be this Angelo Bani, this John Smith. But I see this quite impossible. Nevertheless, I believe that social media, especially big company, have a sort of responsibility in order to flag more. And nowadays it's quite easy because this is what we do in my company also. Flag more conversation narratives, words that are dangerous or may, as we said, influence the heart and the mind of people in a bad way. Right? Yeah.
No, it's a huge responsibility. We've just
it is
in my country. I'm sure you're aware the current story of the BBC.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Flagrant disregard for truth and the responsibility that comes from putting things out that are fair and accurate.
Yeah.
It's not just individuals acting in this, but everyone should be held to a...
I don't know if you ever saw that funny slides where you see a 6 and a 9, right?
Okay.
So depending from where you look at it, is a 6 or is a 9, right? Because one is turned. So it's a little bit like this. And if you are fair enough, you should say, If you look from the left, it's a 6. If you look from the right, it's a 9. Just be aware of this, right? But don't say, no, it's a 9, or no, it's a 6. I don't know if you understand what
Yes, I understand, yeah.
Sorry, I speak English, right? So, I mean, you have to get used to my talks, to my way to talk.
And on top of all of that, and with everything that you're doing, you have also delved into novel writing. You have a new project where you're writing a fictional piece based on your experience as a career law enforcement, as an international law enforcement officer.
And this is once again something that people usually do when they arrive at a certain age. So I don't have a lot of time, I understand. No, yes, I wanted to create a novel in order to put inside some of the experience that I lived while I was in Interpol. Okay. I stayed 8 years plus with Interpol. I visited 40 countries and I did several investigations. Some of those investigations were really unique, peculiar. First of all, because perhaps they are in a completely different hemisphere, in a completely different country, but also because some of the stories are very strange, So I want to put some of those stories on a book. I was lucky enough to find a sort of, let me call it supervisor, now is a friend, David Poyer, is a known bestseller author in United States. And he read the first draft, and he said, this is quite good, but you have to change some things. He never put a word, but of course, he was scolding me when something was not okay, passing from the first person to a third person, and so on and so forth. So, yes, I'm writing this novel. If someone was in Interpol in my same period of time, he will recognize a lot of under fake names, but he will recognize a lot of characters that were in Interpol in that moment. It's a story of, mass surveillance and someone that is very much interested in using social media in order to check and control and profile people.
Okay.
But in an incredible, deep way. And then there's a character that is from the Italian police and is an Interpol officer, and Tony Spada.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Right.
I believe it's quite nice, especially for U.S. public. Tony Spada. Anyway, so there's this Spada is running some investigation with NYPD captain that, by the way, has a sister that is an older sister that is working with the CIA, and therefore some leaks of information, some situation, the NSA, the GCHQ, and so on and so forth. Let's see how it's doing. But in any case, it will be always something very nice to give to people in Christmas.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. And you deliberately paired it with a NYPD officer.
Yeah, because I had NYPD officers in my office when I was here in Singapore. Here in Lyon. So we remain in contact and friends. So we were discussing a lot of things about the different kind of policing activities. And so this is why I put him. But trust me, there's a lot of people, not only him.
Right.
Not only him.
Based on your experience, I mean, one of the great things about the organization is your ability to travel and to learn about other law enforcement jurisdictions,
Absolutely.
Officers, recounting your own stories. Do you remember some that are particularly unique, some that were better than others? It doesn't always go to cultural fits, but can you recount any of those stories?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stories, and some of those stories, they are very, very pleasant. For example, all the times that you travel in the Middle East, the level of hospitality is unbelievable.
It's second to none. The hospitality out of the Middle East.
Unbelievable. And that is quite nice and nice to remember. Latin America, same things. And Latin America is very close to me because I'm Italian, so same religion, same way to think, same. Right. And then because of my experience in Spain, I speak Spanish perfectly, I would say, and it's very similar to Italian. So, I mean, those are the memories. And then Asia still is something, Far East is still something diverse, but it's super nice. You really understand how nice is the world, and at the same time, you also understand how much, when we are talking about crimes, the things are replicated. The exactly same things are replicated in different countries, right? I was astonished to see, for example, some of the tools that are used in order to steal luxury cars, and they're exactly the same in Japan, in Sweden, in Italy. So they use these kind of things most of the time, buying these kind of things on Amazon, and they adjust this, and they are able then to steal, $200,000 or euros luxury car.
Yeah.
So yes, we are still very different, but we also have some good point in common from globalization, but also some bad point in common. Yeah.
And you're right to point out food. Food is always the, something that you can share in common, but it's always amazing when you go to different countries and how they would like to show you their food culture and where it's come from and what it means.
Yeah, sort of Anthony Bourdain, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Travels. Yeah, absolutely. I did hotellerie school when I was young as a secondary school. So I was start traveling luxury hotels and one-star Michelins, two-star Michelin. This is also why when it came to Lyon, for me was a dream come true, because it's a paradise, right? In terms of stars.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right. But as I said, you go to Thailand, it's amazing. You go to Singapore, you find specialities from all Southeast Asia, a lot of food from Malaysia. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And then within different countries.
And now even United Kingdom has interesting food.
Well, thank you.
It was not like this before.
We're learning from our Italian cousins.
I'm joking.
No, it's very true. It's obviously the General Assembly was in my home country, Scotland, last year, and I don't think that people were necessarily writing home about the food, but the tartan and the bagpipes and the weather was probably more, not the weather, of course, but
so not anymore white bread and spam.
Right.
That's so bad. Sorry. Cut.
No. We'll let you have it. We'll let you have it. But also different sizes. Interpol officers. Interpol operates in 196 and counting member countries, and it has different size offices in each of those countries in terms of the international. The national bureaus.
I was told a very funny story of Interpol. That one time they were organizing a sort of party for all the police, like, let me call it the day of police officers, right? Or the day of Interpol. I don't remember anymore. I was not here. But they told me that was done in winter, probably in November or January.
I believe it is.
A lot of years ago.
Yeah.
And so they were inviting strongly all the people that was, we have 70, 80, they have, 70, 80 nationalities, 90 nationalities. And they were inviting people to come with their uniform. And there were, as I said, it was wintertime in Lyon, and they were the African police forces. That, of course, the only uniform they have is created for an African weather.
Right.
So the people was freezing with this very thin cotton line was very funny, this story. But once again, it makes you understand about different things.
Yeah, but would you say, are you still involved with regards to those threats? I know that you have an alert system built into the PIN, the protected.
Yeah.
How does that work counter to or in conjunction with Interpol alerts or anything like? How is that integrated?
It was never my intention to compete with Interpol.
Yeah.
No, mine is a very tiny company. We are very few people. What they call boutique.
Right.
No, but we are looking to different things. The only possibly difference is that we are much more customizable in the sense that, for example, if you're talking about alerts in relation to a certain event or a certain location, we have the ability to really go very deep on the location, on what we call social mood at locations, what the people is talking about, what we should pay attention to, what kind of, if you're talking about travel intelligence, what kind of nationality has the traveler, is the nationality a possible concern, not all love Italians, for example. No, I'm joking. But in general, nationality is something that should be considered. The event, what is the title of the event? What the people, who will be the people that the traveler will meet? Because we have something that is called inherited threat.
Inherited threat.
Inherited threat. So imagine I kill 500 terrorists and I'm having a coffee with you in principal square of Lyon. Of course, in that moment, my threat, the threat that I have on my head is going also on your head. And so we evaluate all these kind of things. So probably the difference is exactly this, but there was never and there will be never any competition with Interpol. I mean, we are talking about two different things, two different speed, two different capabilities.
So soon after I left the organization, I worked with UNOPS out of both the Afghanistan office and also the Pakistan office, and fascinating experience.
Yeah.
Really lovely people over at UNOPS. Doing great work, but I understand that you have experience in Afghanistan, and I wanted to ask you what that experience was like and why you were there.
Yeah, I've been in Afghanistan a few times, and I've been in Pakistan a few times. Khyber Pass, was even there with the with Interpol, in order to evaluate the counter-terrorism capability of Pakistan under a UN Security Council mandate. But beside these, probably the most important things I did in Afghanistan was immediately after the pandemic. I was in Singapore, not a lot of work, unfortunately.
Was that 2021?
Yeah, not a lot of work. And I received a phone call from a friend from the New Zealand intelligence services, former intelligence services, and he said, look, we have a problem with a judge, a female judge in Afghanistan, in Kabul, and we would like to extract her from Afghanistan, but it's quite complicated. Can you help us? Yes, I will do whatever I can, from Singapore, of course. And in the same times, in reason of this operation, we create a microscopic group with a British guy from former SAS and a Canadian military, retired Canadian military that was very good in geospatial intelligence, right. So satellites. So we were able to cut the story short, we were able to bring this judge outside. And from that experience, we decided to do something more. Everyone left Afghanistan in that moment, if you remember. And,
I remember very well.
Yeah.
Crazy scenes.
Yeah, it was a disaster. And so we decided to try to help somehow. We were able in 10 months, thanks to an NGO that was in the field, and with the guy from SAS that was also in the field, and me in Singapore, and then the guy from New Zealand was somehow coordinating, and the guy from Canada that was traveling in Southeast Asia to help. We were able to evacuate 1,029 girls in a period of 10 months. We were using open source intelligence, social media intelligence from my side, so we were able to identify telephone numbers. We were able to understand where the Taliban's were. We were using, thanks to Maxar, satellite images, and we were able to see where the checkpoints because when they came back, they built up a lot of checkpoints inside and outside Kabul. So we were able to understand where those checkpoints were, and somehow we were able to lead buses of those girls that were somehow in danger, not only because they were girls, as we can see now, but also because there were family members of translators, family members of people that was helping coalition forces, but they were not helped in the moment that everyone left. And so yes, this was really interesting. It was a proud moment, if you want, that only 4 people with a lot of determinations and some help were able to do. I remember a girl in particular. She was around 20, and if you see the photo, I will show to you later, because I keep it in my phone. If you see the photo of this girl, was all the skin was ruined. She has some cuts in the lips. It looks like, frankly, a 40 years old person. The skin all ruined, and then thanks to Canada, she obtained. She was evacuated, sent to Canada. The Canadian gave to her the possibility to study IT, and she sent us a photo 6 months after this evacuation, and she was another person. She was good looking, young again. Yes, perhaps a little bit westernized because she has a Nike. And a very, very little, little makeup, if you want. Yeah. But you really understood that. You really understand. I really understood that. With what we did, we touch the life of someone forever. Yeah, because it's like this. And in that moment, we were afraid, although people were saying, no, don't worry. I mean, now there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of international pressure. Will not happen. But look what. Exactly what we were thinking is as it is now. I mean, look the situation in Afghanistan now, and they went back to the same story, right? That is not certainly a favorable story for girls and women's and human rights.
So what was that number again? How many did you evacuate?
1,029.
That's a huge number.
Yeah. It was incredible, even for us.
Really? Wow.
Even for us. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you're still in contact with some of the people that were evacuated?
No, not really. No. Not really. No, because they don't know us. I mean, they were sending all these. Some of them, they sent some thanks letters, some photos. Yeah. But no. I'm in contact with the people that was doing this operation with us. Yes, of course. Yes.
That's an excellent example of international law enforcement cooperation. I mean.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So just getting back to now, it's colliding with AI. Yeah. We add to that, we've got crypto. The various social media scams. This is something that law enforcement can't do just by itself, and there's always conversation about the private-public collaboration and partnerships. Have you seen that with your company, and how is crypto, AI, social media, all of these digital threats? How important are those partnerships?
Well, I don't want to repeat myself, but I have to. We run trainings, and we run also some operation in relation to, for example, cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency scam, and people that is putting a lot of money, and perhaps they lose all their money, thinking that they will have a good return, because sometimes in the beginning you have a good return, so you start trusting this kind of things. But then a lot of time these things is going away, because behind there's a Ponzi scheme, or is a real scam. So I have to repeat myself, but law enforcement alone cannot work in this. Cannot. You need technology. You need the capabilities of try to understand and follow in cryptocurrency. Identify the wallet, to understand where a certain transaction from wallet A end up to wallet Z, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't have certain platform, it's not that you can just go on Google and just digit it, right? You need a specific algorithm, specific capability, and of course, who create those kind of capabilities sell those capabilities. It's not that give these to the public, right? Yeah. So if you don't have such platforms, well, then your capability to investigate is different. This is why, once again, as we did, if you think, somehow, let me do this simplistic example, as we did with stadiums, as we did with airports. If you go back 50 years, in the stadiums, there were only police, right? And then we understood that, well, perhaps the police should do something else, or should receive some support in ticketing checks and the people that is entering certain venues, and the same in the airports, right? Before, all the line of control were policemen. Now all the line of control is civilian people, right?
Yeah.
With some police. So probably we need some recipe that is very similar. So I mean, you need support from technology, so from technological companies. You need platforms, and once again, if you are not able to obtain a good fee from those companies, then once again you limit your possibilities. So once again, London probably has it, Roma has it, Paris has it, but what's about I don't know, Aberdeen? What's about Livorno? Or what's about Valence? They don't, right? And you cannot even think that the central service can manage all the requests from the entire countries. So you really need this kind of partnership.
Yeah. And then you've got, various people turn up, they spend 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years working with the organization, working with Interpol and others, and then they leave. And there's this huge pool of expertise and resource. And, one of the things that we've been involved with together is the formation of this international association of former officials.
Right.
That have worked.
Brilliant idea.
With Interpol. And tell us how you feel about that idea. How's it going? Give me your perspective on.
Well, first of all, it's a brilliant idea, and it's something that made me happy because somehow it's like to say, well, I leave, but I don't leave completely. So I'm still have some sort of attachment with an organization that in my life was very important. Beside this, I believe that with life, with experience, we keep growing, right? So why don't give back some of this understanding, experience, knowledge? And I believe that as it happens for university, for example, the alumni of Harvard, the alumni of Stanford, the alumni of Sorbonne, or Lyon 3.
Yeah, well, even companies now.
Or even companies, So I believe it's very good to keep a sort of attachment and in the same time give something back. And the idea that you and other people had is really brilliant, and I really hope that will be embraced by more and more people. But so far, from what I see, a lot of police officers, former police officer, former Interpol officials, and people that now is either retired or is still in the police force, but not anymore in Interpol
or
in the private sector. They embrace this idea, right? And it seems that, for what I see, it seems that also Interpol is not against, because, for example, me and Mick O'Connell, that was a director in Interpol for many years, we just came out from, as you said in the beginning, I believe, we just came out from delivering a high-level training to executive leadership from police coming from four continents in Singapore.
Right.
So we were called to deliver this pro bono, by the way. I believe it's important to say, because the people are, yes, of course, you have a business, they call you and they pay you, and so you go. No, it's not like this. So they call you and that's it. And you go, in any case, because you like the idea to be of help.
Yeah.
And so this is why I believe that perhaps they're not against these kind of things, because they may take advantages from people that they know, first of all, and that can really provide some interesting perspective.
Yeah, so a sort of train the trainer, but also leaders training
Yeah,
the
yeah.
future
This is what
leaders.
we did. Yeah, this is what we did.
Yeah. Were they receptive? Were the participants? I believe there were 24 participants within this sort of expert training.
Right, right.
Were they receptive to your level, your newfound skills, your expertise?
Yeah,
Your experience?
I believe, yes. I believe they were very happy. We were discussing once again about artificial intelligence because being an executive leadership training, you have in any case to talk about new things and a new way to approach certain crimes. And then we did, as you said, the simulation. The simulation is very realistic because we use, satellite images. We use wiretapping recording simulated.
Yeah.
So the people has to listen telephone calls and they have to understand what the people is saying. They have to do connections. They have to build up link charts. They have to identify people and read intelligence reports. So they really like it because it's very effective. It's quite complex, but well, I mean, they like it.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting that at this current time of a digital world, social media, the emergence of AI, community and human communities are more important now than ever. And I think within those communities, when you have the exchange of information, the exchange of experience, just because you've left, your contract is finished, doesn't mean that's the end of your career in terms of
absolutely
wanting to serve the mission of making the world a safer place. And you've got a lot to give. You've still got a lot, not just yourself, but anyone who's leaving from being an intern or being a young graduate, or being in the organization for 2 years, or being in it for 25, 30. And there are some that are certainly career law enforcement and career Interpol people. But the reaction to the group that was started a year ago has been unbelievable in terms of its positivity, right from the very top to the very bottom. Young graduates looking for career advice on what to do next. I know that they've reached out to you and they've reached out to Mick and to others. So it is a networking community. It's a chance to give back. It's a chance to see each other. It's a chance to exchange.
We would like to enhance this kind of association we are discussing now at the level of directors board. We would like to give something to the people that is part of this association. So either a newsletter or some, alerts or some crime information. So in order to make the participation to this association more alive, right, and to give some not benefit, but really knowledge, if you want, and give to the association more sense, and make the people more part of the association, right? Something that is active and alive.
Yeah, that's it.
Not just something on LinkedIn.
No, for sure.
So we are talking about this in this moment. I believe is a good thing. So I really don't know why it was not done before.
It's curious.
So it's very curious. I mean, right. I know that several conversations were done in Interpol at a very high level, and people seems very favorable on this idea. Because once again, why you have Stanford Alumni Association and why you should not have Interpol?
Well, the FBI, Europol, CIA,
the Italian National Police Association, l'Associazione Nazionale della Polizia di Stato, for example.
Yeah, I hear they have wonderful events with incredible food at this.
Most probably, yes. All is touring around that. No, I'm joking. Yes.
And so, what's next, Angelo? You're heading back to Singapore.
I go back to Singapore. I have some events coming up in the beginning of the year. We had the program of public safety and security, Singapore University of Social Sciences. Now, finally, they obtained the possibility to deliver also a master.
Okay.
And will be a master that will consider important elements important topics such as intelligence, for example, geopolitics, and they will discuss scams, cybersecurity, cyber crimes. So it's quite interesting to see what will come up. During this meeting on vehicle crimes, I met a lot of people, and I must say that it's very interesting what you're doing. If I have an important thing coming out from this event was that we usually consider the car a simple commodity and something that is stolen, and in the moment that you find the car, the situation is there, it's finished. But it's actually not like this. I mean, I understood that behind this there's a world, there's a real organization that should be tackled, that many times the cars are used for other crimes, either terrorism, when we're talking about VBID, vehicle-borne improvised explosive device, or even to sell drugs, to transport to traffic drugs, or to hide people traveling from country A to country B. So it's not just a mere stealing of a car. And this was new to me because I never dealt with this. So I'm very happy that I met these people, and perhaps we will do something. I just put out, I will follow up with the book.
Yeah.
I will follow up with the book. I am working with Apple in order to publish an application. This application is called this is marketing. So no, it's an application that will provide information in terms of security, and it's giving to you the possibility to be geolocalized and give to you exactly what is happening in that moment in that place. It's giving to you the possibility to use what we call semantic intelligence, so search on news keywords and therefore see something that may be of interest for you. We created a quadri map, so we have a map of a location that is divided in 4 different views. So you have a satellite, you have a 3D, you have a normal mapping view, an aerial view. Okay. So once again, in order to support people, I mean, in the moment he's outside, it's completely free of charge. So, I mean, just to help and see if people likes. I am part of that very long list of policemen that had a very little salary, but they compensate these with people that were saying to them, thank you very much. Your job was really important for us. Either was coming from the public or was coming from your superior. And that, I believe, is very important for a lot of people like me. And this is why probably IAN, so the Alumni Association, and this is why the pro bono activities,
Absolutely.
And this is why the app, and so on and so forth.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's the first time that I do a podcast. I mean,
it's your first
feeling
podcast?
A little bit, I hope that people likes. If you didn't understand some of the words in Italian, just send me an email.
Thank you very much, Angelo, and I wish you all the best.
Grazie mille. Ciao.
Grazie.